Addiction is a condition in which a person continues to engage in a behavior despite the negative consequences of the behavior. There are generally two types of addictions: the behavioral addictions, of which gambling is an example, and substance addiction. In behavioral addictions, the person engages in the behavior to an extent that it has negative consequences on the person. However, the person continues to engage in these behaviors despite the negative consequences. There are several examples of behavioral addictions. These may include problem gambling, of which betting is part, gaming, sex addiction, shopping, and watching of pornographic videos. In substance addiction, a person uses a particular substance or a number of substances to an extent that it's negatively affecting their lives, but they continue to use them. There are several substances available in the environment, and a person may be addicted to one or more substances at a time. Examples of substances people can be addicted to are alcohol, cannabis, cocaine, heroin, and some prescription medications like tramadol and pethidine. A behavior or a substance use can be said to be a problem when these patterns are identified. First, the person may start using the substance or engage in the behavior more frequently than they used to do to achieve the same desired effect as they used to achieve previously. Again, the person spends a lot of time on the behavior or getting and using the substance to the detriment of other important activities in their lives. The person may become uncomfortable or exhibits a wide range of signs and symptoms when they don't get to use the substance or engage in those behaviors over a period of time. For example, for people who use alcohol, if they don't use the alcohol, their hands may start shaking, they may start sweating, and some may complain about seeing things that do not exist. In behavioral addictions, such as betting, the person may tell lies or steal to get the funds to support their betting habits. Similar patterns are also seen in persons with substance use problems, where they lie or steal to get money to buy the preferred substances. In addition, the person becomes angry or irritable when people talk about their condition. The person also makes the substance or the behavior a priority in their lives and ignore all other responsibilities. The person's functioning in terms of their work or their managing their home may be negatively affected as the person spends more time getting the substance to use or engaging in this behavior. The person may have tried several times to either stop the substance or stop this behavior, but may have been unsuccessful at these attempts as well. All these may point to these behaviors or the substance being a problem at the time and the need for the person to seek help. For a person who has not engaged in any of these behaviors or used any of these substances, it would be best that the person does not start. That may be the most effective preventive measure for the person. In addition, for people who have noticed some of these patterns described earlier, we need to seek help early in order to get the best care and best outcomes for their behavioral and substance addictions. There are several options available to persons with substance and behavioral addictions. Some of these include specific talk therapies, which are aimed at either encouraging the person or supporting the person to seek help. Other talk therapies are also aimed at guiding the person through cutting down and eventually stopping the use of the substance or stopping the behavior of interest. Again, there are other therapies that help the person stay away from the substance or the behavior once they have stopped. In some cases, some people with substance and behavioral addictions may need to be in specific facilities to help them stop these behaviors or stop using these substances. Whilst in these facilities, they will be taking through various sessions to help them identify the various triggers and how to cope with them. They also acquire skills that would help them outside these facilities to help them stay away from these substances or the behaviors. Medications are not the mainstay in the management of substance and behavioral addictions, even though they may use to help deal with some of the side effects when some people suddenly stop using substances. Substance and behavioral addictions impact several aspects of a person's life. It may impact their finances, as the person may spend a lot of money in getting and using the substance or on the specific behaviors like betting. Again, some substances may directly affect a person's physical health, therefore leading to other medical complications. In addition to this, the person may lose their job or their source of living, as they may either not be functioning optimally or may leave their jobs to pursue the substance use or the behavioral addiction. The relationship between families and friends may also be affected, as the person's sole focus is on the behavior or the substance of use. In some cases, substance and behavioral addictions may lead to broken homes. The engagement or involvement in the substance use and these behaviors may lead to petty quarrels at home, eventually leading to families being torn apart. This may also have negative impact on other members of the family, such as children and their education and their future as well. Addiction affects all members of the family, even though they may not be directly involved in the behavior or the substance use. The financial burden and the stigma that comes with it affects them all. It is therefore important that the family takes a key interest in the person who has an addiction in the family. First, the family may have to look out for the patterns that may indicate that the person may be having a problem with either the substance use or the behavior and get them the needed care. Once a person has been identified and is receiving treatment from a professional, the family would have to work closely with the professional to see how best they can support the person's treatment. And when the person is out of treatment, they need to continue their support for the person throughout the period. There's no place for stigma and discrimination against the person who uses substance or engages in these behaviors. Substance and behavioral addictions are common in our environment, and currently we are seeing an upward trend in these addictions. For persons who have not been engaged in these behaviors or use of the substances, it would be best not to start. For those who have already been engaged, it is important that you look out for the signs that may denote that you have a problem and seek help early. Early interventions are important as they tend to help mitigate the overall impact of these addictions on the person's life. Services are available across the country, and one can walk into any of these facilities for the needed help. Thank you.